Good morning. Today is the 14th of December 2022. This is our third conversation with Cecilia Hector and me, Swier. Today we're talking about awareness and how awareness is different for us all. What we see, what we hear, what we feel, what we smell, what we touch, and what we think is always dependent on what you make of it. And that's a bit strange because we all think that what we see is what we take in, or what we hear is what we hear. And that's not entirely true, because there's also always a way of interpreting what's coming in, because your brain only gets an analog signal in little voltages, little pulses, which comes into the brain, and it compares that to what it has received earlier. And that means that what you experience, let's call it in the broad version, what you experience, what you get in, is always filtered through your memory. And that is important, because then you start to understand that what you are experiencing is always not exactly what is happening outside. It has been filtered through what you have been experiencing in the past. So what you do is really experiencing or comparing what's coming in with what you have experienced in the past. So it's always a bit old information, because your brain is very good at finding similarities between what's coming in at that moment and what's in your memory. So it can happen that you suddenly see, well, what I had a year ago or so. I was doing some work in the garden. I was standing on a stair, and I was cutting some branches in a tree, and it was a bit wacky. It was a bit shaky, the stair. So I was paying attention not to drop off. And then suddenly, from the corner of my eye, I saw a yellow snake in the garden, and said, "Wait a minute, yellow snake? We don't have yellow snakes here in the Netherlands." And it wasn't a yellow snake; it was my yellow garden hose. But I only saw it in a flash of a moment, and what immediately happened is that my brain made a snake of it. So when I looked the second time, I said, "Yeah, of course, this is a garden hose." But that's how your brain can trick you into thinking that there is something which isn't there. And that stays okay, because you are continuously getting information in, you're continuously experiencing information of stuff. And that means that you're constantly controlling or checking whether you are still seeing the right thing. And that helps you from getting mad. Because if you start believing what you're seeing, if you don't check it again, if you don't check it again, and don't check it again, and don't check it again, it might be happening that you are believing what your brain is serving you as what's it thinks it's there. And that's exactly what happens when people have a narrowed vision on what's happening. If they don't look at the environment, and they look wider around, and they can only focus on that thing, and then there's no new information coming in, so your brain cannot do anything else but just enlarge the experience what you're seeing. So when you see something awful, it can get bigger and bigger, and more awful and more terrible, and you can get swept away by the experience. That's what happens to people who are, well, swept away by their experience. And that's what happens to people who have psychosis or something like that, or get very scared. And they are not checking at that moment, they're not checking what's really there. And as soon as you succeed in snapping out of it, in really looking from what's here, what's really here, is this really happening, then you can get swept away by your own brain. And that could be a bit scary, but it isn't really, because we all can always check back. Because what I learned in the last few years is, when I see something which is scary, I just look again and say, wait a minute, is this real what I'm seeing? Is this really real? So I look away and look again, and then I say, oh, it's not so bad. It isn't a snake. It's just a garden hose. And that's a simple sample of a simple idea of what's going on. And something could be much more well, scary than you think. But most of the time, those scary things aren't really there. It's just made up by your brain. And it's okay that it does that, because it helps you understand what's there very quickly. But it's not always productive. It's not always sensitive to look at those things which are served to you by your brain. And that's why we have a continuous way of experiencing stuff. And it's amazing what we do. We have, each eye has a resolution of 130 megapixels. It's amazing. That's even better than the best professional photo camera out here. Well, not compared to military cameras or so, but compared to professional photo cameras, they don't have that resolution. And the same goes for your hearing and your tasting and smelling. It's so much better than any device you can find, really. And that's a go away, stupid thing. I'll switch you off. Sorry about this. Siri is intervening.
Yeah, but when you're little and newborn, you're just aware. You don't have any thoughts about life. You just are, or you can just be. You and when you get older, you put all this like a computer. I see it like a computer.
It is.
You put
really?
your files in your head, in your brain. You had all this, and sometimes you put a file in front of you, and you see it, a memory. You can call it a memory, but it's something you put in your brain before in life, and you take it in this moment and see it here and now, and then you feel the things that isn't now. Is just a thought about something that you put in your memory, but you can also choose not to open that file and just see that, oh, I have these memories in my brain.
Yeah.
All these files in this computer, and if I open all these memories up, all these files up, I had a lot to do. I had a lot to go look to, and I miss this moment now. So sometimes it's better not to be up there and look in all those memories, because you need to be here and now. But we do. we have our experience, and we look back in our own computer,
Mm-hmm.
and see life, um, after that,
Mm-hmm.
what we have with us. But it's like very, yeah, it will,
Compartmentalized. Oh my God, it's a difficult
how,
word.
yeah, you have to expand that. And
Yeah.
how can you expand that? Oh, you have to let your memories be there, so you can let in the new. And that's how I have done these last years, when I came across this inside and out understanding that I have, um, uh, left the memories still for a while,
Yeah.
so I can be here now and listen to new people I meet. Listen, I have been listening to you, Swear, when
Mm-hmm.
we have been talking, and are talking, and maybe I hear something new for me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I can open up for more and expand, that I listen to other people, because my head it's filled with a lot of thoughts, and wherever I believe in those, I feel. And maybe it's the same kind of thoughts coming every day,
Mm-hmm.
if I continue to listen to that. So I have seen that I needed to leave that little bit, so I can be open for new things, and look for good things,
Mm-hmm.
rather than my um, difficult experience before, because that doesn't help to be there. I need to be open for, what can I do? How can I be aware in this moment, and um, experience,
Experience. Yeah, absolutely. And it's.
have new experience. And I have seen that I see so much more. I see the nature. I see uh, more beauty in things. And I hear more what people are talking about
Mm-hmm.
now, because I'm not up in my head uh, all the time. I am up in my head like everyone, but I have more moments now,
Mm-hmm. I understand.
where I listen a little bit more to what other people are talking about, and then I hear new things that maybe can help me to have a more comfortable life.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Absolutely. And many people will ask you, well, how do you do that? How do you direct your thoughts? Well, you don't. You don't direct your thoughts. But what you can do is to point your attention to what is pleasant, what gives you a nice feeling. And if you do that, you suddenly notice that you are more or less forgetting all those maybe scary or uneasy or difficult thoughts, because then the attention is aimed, and we can do that. We can aim our attention to something and just look at that, and or think about that, or feel that, or hear that. You can listen very carefully to music. You can look very carefully to a painting or something like that, and you can direct all your attention towards that, and that helps not taking in consideration what's there also. And it's the same a bit as if you are sitting on the top of a dune, uh, by the seaside, and you see the sun go down. You enjoy the sun going down, which isn't true, of course, but still, we think it is, and it's very, very pleasant because they're very warm and red colors, and it's very pleasant to look at. And you get this feeling which makes you you feel very pleasant. And it's the same in the morning when you're standing under the shower, having a nice warm shower. That makes you feel good too. And all those little tiny little pleasant experiences make your life so much easier. And if you just put some attention into it, just pay a little bit of attention to it, and see how this changes your life really quite
The
easily.
feelings is our guide. It really
Absolutely.
is. The
Yeah.
feeling is our guide. When we feel comfortable with someone, go that way
Yeah.
instead of feeling like we get thoughts about, oh, it's not, I don't like it here. I don't feel comfortable here. I don't want to be here. So then it's not the right way,
Mm.
because even if it's coming like from a thought, and it feels like a feeling, you don't need to go that way. You can guide yourself to move in that direction where you feel comfortable and more happy. And when you feel that, life opens up to more beauty.
Mm-hmm.
And I really seen that for myself, that
Yeah.
I need to focus on what's good for me, not good for any others, for me.
Yeah.
Where do I feel more happy or more comfortable or creative,
Creative. Yeah. Yeah.
motivated?
Mm-hmm.
And then I choose that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
And it's very important that we understand that a feeling is just that. It's only a feeling. It's giving you a signal. This is pleasant. This is not pleasant, and everything in between.
yeah,
We are we are often thinking that the feeling is telling us something. It is giving some information about them. The only thing it's telling you, it's pleasant or it's not pleasant. That's the only thing it's telling you, and it's not telling you there's an awful man in the cupboard or something like that, or I don't know, whatever you could think of, which would be unpleasant. It's not telling you that. It's just telling you you are at this moment feeling pleasant or not pleasant. And the funny thing is, when you are feeling pleasant most of the time, you get a much wider aperture to look at the world. You experience much more things, and the world even looks friendlier to you. And you all know that probably when you look at the world when you're in the somber mood, you're depressed, or you're angry about something. Everything looks dark. Everything looks somber. It looks has a blackish color to it, and that's really, really bringing you down. But it's only the feeling which is telling you you're not feeling okay at that moment. And the only thing you have to, oh, wait a minute, I'm not feeling okay. So I'm thinking probably something which is not making me feel okay. Let's not do that.
and then we used to need to do something when we feel that. I have
Yeah.
to go away and take massage, or I have to take therapy, or I need to do something because I don't like this feeling. It's awful feeling. But the thing is that all the feelings are here, and we can't. We must allow every feeling to be here. It's just a sign for us to see that, okay, I have been in this thinking, and I have to slow it down and just let it be. And
Yeah. what we think we have to do something to get rid of the feeling and the thoughts we have. That's not
Yeah.
true. It will just pass because
Yeah.
it will pass always. We are not depressed or somber all day. You can be depressed for a few days or maybe a week, or you can be depressed for a long time, but then you're believing the feeling, you're believing the thought. And the only thing you have to do is not believe the thought, not believe what your brain is serving you, what's bringing forward. It's just, wait a minute, this is not right, this is not correct. The sun is still shining, and today the sun is shining, so that's good. And it's not as depressing as my mind makes it. And your personal mind has only one goal for you, is to help you survive. So it will always present the situation as dark as possible so you won't do stupid things.
Yeah. And when I feel this kind of feeling, bad feelings, I get headache, I get a stomach, I feel my stomach and everything. It's just a sign for me to, okay, take small step, make a coffee, do something little,
Read a
just
book.
little,
Yeah.
nice
Take a
for a
walk.
little while,
Yeah.
and don't try to figure it out how to do with it. Just let it be, and then it moves on. It moves on, and a better feeling is
Yeah.
coming. And
Yeah. I think Michael Neal told me once that we have somewhere between 50,000 and 125,000 thoughts per day. Once you are aware of, once you're not aware of. But can you imagine 125 thoughts per day, 125,000 thoughts per day? That means that you're having a new thought every, well, 0.7 seconds or something like that.
Swear have that, and Cecilia have that, and blah blah blah. Everyone
Anyone has
have
to
that.
have, yeah.
So
So
when I'm finished with my thoughts, you have a lot of thoughts. So it can be, and we
absolutely.
can have that in the family. Everyone's thoughts is like, I think like this. Yeah, I think like that. I'm the right. I have the. I'm the one who's right in this. So we have to see that everyone gets these thousands of thoughts, and it's just thoughts, and it's
Yeah,
okay to have them. We need to have them,
absolutely.
but but if I know that my someone in my family are up in their thoughts and their head, and it's moving very fast, and it's a low feeling of
Low state of mind.
yeah, low state of mind, I don't need to listen so much to that. I can just know that, uh, bring some coffee or or a little rest, and
Yeah,
after a while it
the
will
same with me. My wife broke her wrist last weekend. She fell when it on an icy patch, and she tried to catch herself and broke her wrist. So now she's in a plaster, and she's very annoyed by it because she can't do everything, because the plaster is hindering to do all kinds of, and it hurts, of course, it hurts. So she can be a bit snappy towards me once in a while, and I can imagine that because it hurts and it's frustrating, and she wants to work, and everything goes bad. So I understand that. So I don't take it so seriously. I let her snap. That's okay. It's just that's what's happening right now, and it will go away. It will take a few weeks probably, but the pain will go away much sooner. And
yeah.
the best thing I can do is help her as good as I can so she can recover as quickly as possible.
And then you have this kind of um, um, levels of consciousness where
Yeah,
you understand that this is how the mind works. When we are in a low state of mind, we are closely to that kind of feelings. She's got that hurt, and she feels that way, and I don't need to go in that drama, but I can have this constant state of mind to understand that this is going like this, her feelings, and it's okay for her to be in that, because everything is in life. We experience everything, and need to allow everything.
Well, you can fight it, but the problem is the response to that or the results from that will not help you really.
Yeah. So the
So
inside and out understanding is nothing about that you don't feel these kinds of feelings.
no,
It's just that you understand how it works. That life is giving you all these kinds of feeling, but it moves. You are
all the time.
not that feeling and thoughts moving like this. You are the constant, that awareness.
That underlying level of awareness is always there, and the great thing about it, that awareness was there when you were 5, and then you grew up and you turned into a young lady of 15, and your body had changed entirely. You had even different cells in your body, but your awareness was still the same. And now you are much an adult woman, and your body has changed again. Your cells have changed, but your awareness is still there. And you can even go back to that awareness when you were 5, almost. Well, part of it at least. And you can come back to that age when you were 15, and you can remember how that was. You can have memories of that. But the awareness is still the same, and it's still there. And that's amazing. That's the real only constant factor in your life, the awareness, being able to be aware.
The source
The source. Yeah.
of everything that we can always come back to, and it's like the root in the tree.
Yeah.
It's like you are that.
The root.
And
and it defines you really, because it makes it possible that you can be aware of what's happening around you, because it always listens. That awareness always listens, always sees, always experiences what you are experiencing. It just doesn't judge. Your brain judges, but awareness doesn't judge.
And the brain can go very, very fast, so you can't hear and you can't recognize it. So the thing is that you need to step back and get silent, and try to just listen to other. And when you feel like you wanted to put something, you are angry and you feel this and that, don't for a while. Just see if it can slow down a little.
Yes, and often it will, not always, but often it will. That then your thinking will slow down slowly, and what will happen is that you get a much wider perspective of what's going on. You don't look at this through this small aperture, this small hole, through which you only see a very tiny bit of what's happening really. And if your aperture opens, you see the much more wider view of what's going on.
And then there is the healing.
Yeah, absolutely.
There comes the healing. When you open up for something, you put that old memories, you put that down for a while.
You let them be. You let them be. You don't put them down, because
no, but you just don't care about them for now. and you have your memories, but you don't need to put it in this moment here right now. Then you are more open for healing.
Yeah, that helps a lot to solve a lot of issues we are dealing with
Yeah,
every day.
yeah, and we want to deal with every problem, but there's no healing in that. The healing is to just let it be
Mhm.
and be aware here and now in this moment, and
Yeah,
see where where how can I feel good here, uh, and do that.
yeah.
Do pleasant things you like.
Sorry. Yes, and if something not so pleasant happens, um, accept it. Sometimes life serves you melons,
Yeah, it does.
lemons. Sorry, not the melons, lemons.
Yeah,
And if you are smart, you make lemonade of it instead of gnawing on the acidness of
yeah.
the lemon. Make
we can't
lemonade.
we can't do anything about that life happens to us. We people die, and people things happen, people get sick. We can't we just have to this is the explanation for something, that you can feel better if you know that you are the constant, the source of everything. Is just a guiding, but we can't life happens to us. We live in this
Hmm.
human uh, body, uh, and the life in form.
Well, there's a lot of beauty in being in this body and experiencing all this body has to offer us. Um, well, think about being in love with someone and enjoying each other and that's amazing and that's beautiful to experience. And smelling fresh air and seeing the sunshine and being in the rain and whatever it is you're experiencing, they are all beautiful experiences. The only thing is, don't let it bring you down, because they are just experiences. And as long as you're not losing a limb or something like that, everything is quite okay. Even though with my wife who broke her wrist, and that's awful, it hurts, and it's not good, but it also makes her feel human, makes you feel aware.
And I think it's good to do something you got a passion for,
Yeah,
because when you feel like you have a passion for something, you bring out so much more positive energy by itself. It
yeah,
just it just it's just there, and uh, the world need that kind of energy.
yeah, absolutely. We always certainly do. We need a lot of wisdom really in this world. And when I look at what's happening right now in the world, there's not much wisdom in that.
No, so what the world need is healing. it
Absolutely,
needs
yeah.
it needs to look in the direction of to do good things with your life,
Hmm.
and accept, as you say, accept that some experience are not so pleasant, but um,
But also you learn from those as well, because you learn how to prevent them from happening again, or get caught up in a situation like that again. And so there's something to learn every time,
it's a
even from
balance. It's a
yeah.
balance for like you need the the dark things for see the light,
Yeah, to
and then
enjoy that, to
it's
enjoy
like,
that. Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
it's like the balance you need to have. even if it's not comfortable to be in that dark, but then you are very pleased when you have this light moments. You can be thankful for
Yeah, fully enjoy
those.
them. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Shall we leave it at this for today?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we can do that.
Okay, I'll stop the recording. Thank you for watching.
Thank you, Swear. Thank you.